Who was interested first? Who said I love you first? Who's more protective? Who cleans more? Who eats the most? Who spends the most money? Who is most likely to start an argument? Who falls asleep first? Who is more annoying? Who loves the hardest?
She was 3 days away from her birthday. 3 days. She had already told the camera, already laughed about it, already promised she was going to be the life of the party, the way she always was, the way she couldn't help but be. But on the evening of March 26th, 2023, in Columbia, South Carolina, Wynter Nicole Straw never made it to that birthday. She was shot multiple times outside her apartment building on Mallet Hill Road, left in the parking lot, 25 years old, a daughter, a colleague, a woman who made strangers smile from behind a phone screen. The man who shot her was the man she loved, and 3 hours after he took her life, he took his own.
Welcome to Caught in the Web True Crime Stories. Kindly support us by subscribing to this channel and turn the notification icon.
Well, we now know the name of a woman who was shot and killed outside of an apartment complex on Mallet Hill Road that we told you about. She is 25-year-old Wynter Straw. This incident started at about 6 o'clock on Sunday night near the 700 block of Mallet Hill Road, where deputies say Straw was shot and killed. Deputies say the suspect then barricaded himself inside the apartment for more than 3 hours. They later heard a gunshot from inside the apartment. They found that suspect dead or with a gunshot wound to the upper body. He died on Monday morning.
This is not a story about a monster. It's harder than that. When this is a story about what happens when the love someone carries for another person becomes something they cannot hold and cannot let go of. Wynter Nicole Straw was born to be remembered. She grew up in San Diego, California, sun-soaked, West Coast, the kind of city that makes people feel like the world is wide open. At some point, her life brought her east, to Columbia, South Carolina, and Columbia became home. She went to Columbia High School. She played basketball at Allen University, and she wasn't just on the team. She was part of the team that won Allen's first ever women's championship. Her coach remembered her not just as a dynamic player, but as someone who held the court, who carried weight without being asked. In 2020, she graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Social Science. She had plans. Law school was next. And she wasn't done becoming who she was going to be, not by a long way. She became a correctional officer, a mental health officer specifically. The kind of work that asks something real of you every single day. Patience, steadiness, the ability to sit with people in their worst moments and not flinch. Her coworkers said she was exactly that kind of person, that she cared, that her energy changed a room. She was also a member of Delta Sigma Theta, a mother to a little girl she clearly adored. And she had a presence online, TikTok mostly, where she posted dances, travel clips, slices of her everyday life. Funny, magnetic. The kind of person the camera loved because she loved the camera back. Her mother was her biggest fan. Renaldo Johnson was 27. He is described as the quieter one, the one in the background of the videos, and the one Wynter would pull into frame. In the couple content they posted together, he came across as easygoing, calm, a little reserved, the kind of person who smiled when she danced and followed her lead.
Little dookie booty, go on and get in the camera. Yeah, bitch, this is for Keisha, because you clearly ain't learned your lesson the first time. Tell her what the fuck I said.
I can't fuck with you.
Louder.
I can't fuck with you no more.
Cause what?
You messing up my family.
Now, bitch.
Do not call me handsome if you ain't gonna hand me some of that, but don't get down.
From the outside, and this is important, they looked like exactly what their followers said they were. Couple goals. Some relationships begin with fireworks. Others begin with something quieter, a recognition, a sense that this person sees you. We don't know the exact moment Wynter and Renaldo found each other. What we do know is that by the time their story reached its end, they had been together for years, long enough to build a life together, long enough for their identities to become woven into each other, at least for one of them. Wynter wore the relationship openly. She put it online, and the way she put everything online, with energy, with humor, with her whole self forward. She posted videos showing them dancing, videos from what looked like a vacation, the two of them, warm and laughing. She showed him off, she showed them off, and Renaldo was there, participating, present, smiling in frame. When a relationship works, that kind of openness is beautiful. When something underneath it is already straining, that same openness can become a way of holding on, of making something public because making it public makes it feel more real, more secure. Have you ever loved someone who seemed almost reluctant to fully arrive in the relationship and loved them harder because of it? If you have, you know something about what was quietly happening here. This is the part of the story that doesn't have a clean beginning. Insecurity doesn't announce itself. It doesn't arrive on a particular day. It grows from older soil, from things that happened before this relationship. We don't have Renaldo's full story. We don't know what losses shaped him, what relationships before Wynter left marks he never fully processed. What we can see, from the outside, from the little that surfaces in their public life together, is a man who did not fully show up in the way Wynter wanted him to, who at times seemed like he was in the relationship without being committed to it. And we can see Wynter, a woman of enormous warmth and energy, working to close that gap. That gap is where fear lives. When you love someone who keeps some part of themselves at a distance, you fill the quiet with your own thoughts. Well, why aren't they more affectionate? Why don't they fight for this the way I do? Am I enough? Are they still here? The fear of losing someone can become louder than the relationship itself. And once it does, it stops being about love and starts being about survival. Here is where the story gets uncomfortable, because it asks us to hold two things at once. Wynter was, by all accounts, a good person. Funny, warm, devoted, hardworking. And yet, in some of the videos she posted, the ones people went back and watched after everything happened, there were glimpses of something that had quietly changed the shape of the relationship. She posted a video about how excited she got to go through his phone. She posted a caption saying she was on her way to accuse him of cheating 'cause I'm bored. Another caption read, "When he complains about my attitude, but should be glad I haven't stabbed him." She even made a video about what people thought she should do after he had called the police on her. Now, take a breath before you judge any of that. Some of it reads like dark humor, the kind of self-aware comedy that people post online to make light of relationship tension. That is a real thing. People do that. It doesn't mean they're dangerous, but some of it also reads like someone who had lost the boundary between love and control, who had started monitoring, testing, and challenging. Not because she was cruel, but because she was afraid. Going through a partner's phone, manufacturing conflict to provoke a reaction, and framing jealousy as a joke so it doesn't have to be examined. These are not the behaviors of someone who feels safe. These are the behaviors of someone who is terrified of what they might lose and has started trying to control the outcome. What started as love, and it was love, had become something neither of them knew how to navigate. And then there was the video they posted together, dancing. The caption on the song they chose, "When someone tells us we too toxic to be together." They laughed at it, posted it, let their followers laugh too. But somewhere in that apartment on Mallet Hill Road, the laugh was wearing thin. Have you ever been in a relationship where the tension became the normal? Where you stopped asking whether something was working and just started managing it? Leave a comment. We think a lot of people have been there. We don't know exactly what was said. We know there was an argument. We know it happened outside the apartment on the evening of March the 26th, 2023, a Sunday. We know that something broke open in that moment that could not be closed again. Maybe he was leaving. Maybe she felt it coming before he said a word. Maybe it was something small, something that would have meant nothing on a different day, but landed on top of everything else that had been building, and the weight of all of it became too much to carry. There are people who feel that same desperation every single day, and they walk away. They cry. They call someone. They do not reach for a gun. But if we want to understand how a man who danced in couple videos, who massaged his girlfriend's feet on camera, who smiled when she pulled him into frame, if we want to understand how a person like that arrived at this moment, then we have to be willing to sit with the answer, even when it's ugly. He was not a monster who had been hiding. He was a person who had reached the bottom of himself and found something he could not survive. And neither could she. Deputies responded to the 700 block of Mallet Hill Road at around 6 o'clock in the evening. They found Wynter Nicole Straw outside the apartment building. She had been shot multiple times. She did not survive. Her older sister had witnessed it. We will not linger here. Not because it doesn't deserve our full attention, but because Wynter's death is not the most important thing about her. And if we let this moment swallow everything that came before it, we do her a disservice. She was a daughter, a mother, a championship-winning athlete, a mental health officer, a woman who was going to law school, a woman whose laughter lived on a phone screen for people who had never even met her, and who smiled anyway. She was 3 days from her birthday. That is what we carry. After shooting Wynter, Renaldo went back inside the apartment and did not come out. Negotiators spent almost 3 hours trying to reach him, speaking to him, and asking him to come to the door. Around 9 o'clock that night, he stopped responding, and moments later, those outside heard a single gunshot from inside the apartment. They found him with a gunshot wound to the upper body. He was rushed to the hospital. He died overnight. There would be no trial, no courtroom, no moment where he sat across from the people who loved Wynter and tried to explain himself. That silence, that permanent, irreversible silence, is its own kind of wound for the people who were left behind. Wynter's mother told reporters she was shocked, that after all this time, she never thought he could do something like that to her daughter.
He was a good friend, good sister, great daughter, all around just a good person, a rising star. We didn't see any signs, no signals. It wasn't like she was coming around us with black eyes or anything like that. So there was none of that. It is definitely a betrayal. Because this man looked me in my eyes all the time. And whenever I would talk to him, I'd say, I'm giving you my child, a wholehearted, bubbly personality, and that's how I want to get her back. And he always assured me he would never do anything to hurt my child.
Friends and family gathered at the scene 2 days later for a vigil. The same parking lot, the same apartment complex, candles and grief where, days before, and there had been an ordinary Sunday evening. People who had coached Wynter, played alongside her, worked with her at the corrections department, they came. They said things like, if you met her, you loved her. And if you never met her, you wish you had. Her mother said she wanted people to celebrate Wynter's life, to remember her for the legacy she left, not for the way she was taken. Wynter's little girl is still here, and Wynter is not. This one stayed with us for a long time. If it stayed with you too, leave a comment below. These stories deserve to be heard. There is a version of love that holds someone gently, that says, I want to be close to you, and if you ever need to go, I will grieve that, and I will survive it. And there is a version that grips, that says, I cannot exist without you, and so neither of us is allowed to find out what happens if you leave. The second one doesn't feel like a threat from the inside. It feels like devotion. It feels like proof of how much you care. But devotion that has no space for the other person's freedom, that monitors, that tests, that dances to songs about being too toxic while laughing like it's a joke. That is not love in its fullest form. That is love that has turned inward and become something else. And sometimes, the person on the receiving end of that, the one being held too tightly, doesn't leave soon enough, doesn't leave clearly enough, or leaves in a way that shatters something that was already fracturing. We are not saying Wynter caused this. She did not. We are saying that the people in this story, both of them, were caught in something neither of them fully named. And the failure to name it, to get help, to find a way out that didn't end in a parking lot on a Sunday evening, that failure cost a 25-year-old woman her life. Her daughter will grow up without her. Her mother lost her baby. Her sister watched her die. And Renaldo Johnson, whatever pain drove him to that apartment, whatever he felt in those 3 hours of silence before the final shot, left behind nothing but grief. There are no villains in stories like this, only people who needed more than they could ask for, and a moment that came too soon, and a choice that could not be undone. How do we put an end to this? Wynter's mother asked that question at the vigil. We don't have an easy answer, but we think it starts with honesty, the kind Wynter deserved, and the kind the people who love you deserve from you right now. Like and subscribe if these stories matter to you, because they do, and we'll keep telling them as carefully and honestly as we know how.